Hi and welcome to Take Time to Create. This is where we take time out of our everyday lives to create new and wonderful things. Today we're going to create an art journal page, and for this page I used Bo Bunny and their Summer Mood Pack or their Summer Mood collection, and I made kind of a collage page. A lot of fun and very easy to do, and just use the supplies you have on hand. And if you don't have the Summer Mood collection, that's okay. You can use things that you find online. You can print up things just to get a similar look. Lots of fun. So let's get creating. So we're going to start with a blank page in our Ranger book, and that's what I'm working in. It is a Ranger art journal, and you can use anything that you have. So a blank piece of paper or an art journal, that's fine. Ignore the clips I have over here on this side. What I do is I actually glue pages together, especially when the book is getting really big, and I just forgot to do that earlier. So these are actually glued together, 2 pages on that side, and that's because it just gets so big and bulky, and if I want to poke things through on the other side, or anything sticking out on this side, I put another sheet over so it doesn't ruin another page. So that's what I do. A lot of people glue pages together, especially when you're getting into a lot of mixed media. So I'm using the Bo Bunny Summer Mood, and this was my inspiration. I was digging in my paper stacks. I was digging around and I found this sheet. Look how pretty this is. And I looked at it and went, oh, flying typewriters. So this is my inspiration. It's right in the summer mood and I love it. So we'll be using a lot of things out of there and other things in my stash as well, of course. I have this paper and it's just a blue. It's got little dots, or they're not quite dots, but whatever they are, it's a blue piece of paper, and that is what I'm going to start with. And I am going to cut it out to fit this page. I'm going to stick it underneath. I use a map in between my layers so that I don't get the next sheet messed up. Even though I do glue them together, it's still a good idea to make sure one doesn't get messed up. So I'm just going to take a pencil and I'm going to line up the bottom here so I don't waste that. And it's not going to be exactly perfect, and that's okay if some things hang off the edge. And just like that, then I'm going to cut this out. What I love about using everything in the same paper pack is everything matches. This really pretty side matches and all of the other papers match together, so I love that. Less worrying for me, especially when I'm trying to put a journal page together a little bit quicker than usual and I don't want to dig a lot. If I'm worried about something, or I'm just like, oh no, is this gonna work? I love it. So I'm just using double sticky tape just to put it all around. Anything really would work. Mod Podge, gel mediums. I didn't want this to get wrinkly, so that's why I'm using tape, but really anything will work. So this is all adhered down, and make sure you put enough sticky tape on there that it stays, and so I did that. So I want to paint some of the background, and I'm going to paint some clouds, and I have, let's see here, I have Folk Art metallic paint. I have ice blue, pearl white, sapphire, or no, blue sapphire, and nickel. Those are the colors I'll be using. And I'm just going to kind of do abstract, and I have them on my palette here, and they're not going to be perfect, but that's not what I'm going for. I have a round brush, and it's just a number 8, and I'm just going to kind of, oh nope, you cannot see that white at all because that white is not really showing up. What I'm doing, let me take a tiny bit of gray and lots of white. So I'm mixing on my palette lots of white and a tiny bit of gray. Okay, and I'm just kind of, there we go. You cannot see that at all. Maybe if I did one down here, you can kind of see it. All right. If I lift it up, you can kind of see them. See how we kind of have a grayish light gray cloud? I have a second paintbrush. I'm just going to add a little bit of light blue, or I don't know, maybe dark blue. That's too dark. That blue was too dark, but that's okay. Not too worried. All right, so If it's too dark, just kind of blot it and go over it, and I'm just kind of blending, and I'm going to put some more. I think I like that. So I'm going to put the blue down first, then I'm going to add more white and gray on top, just making some clouds, and like I said, they are not perfect. All right, my clouds are done. You can really see them if I tip it up like that. I love the metallic shine. So now what I want to do is I want to add some splashes with the dark blue. Just think that'd really add some neat detail, texture, whatever. There we go. Cool. Oh, I love it. So now this needs to dry for a minute, and I can take my heat tool and dry it. But since I've got another thing I need to do, I'm going to set it aside. So now that's moved aside. What I have are these little typewriters, and one was part of the die cut pack, and that's this pack right here. And one was part of just cut out of the sheet, and another one. I cut both of these out of the sheet. And I forgot to mention earlier that this whole pack was provided to me from Scrapbook Collections, my friend Emily, who owns Scrapbook Collections, and I did a full video with it earlier and a full review and a card project with this few months ago. It's been a while, but if you haven't been following me, or if you had forgotten that I did receive this pack as a gift, I just really wanted to reiterate that and let you guys know. I still love it. I think this is a beautiful pack. So what I'm going to do is I want these flying in the sky. That's why I made clouds. I have this Tim Holtz, and it is called Feathered Wings die cut. I have the $29.99 sticker on there, but I can guarantee you I did not pay this much for it. I think it was on clearance, and I don't use it nearly enough. And so, well, with my low buy, I dug it out and I said, I need to use that. I also used, where did it go? I have this butterfly die cut. So I cut out a butterfly out of the same paper, and I'm going to put the wings on that typewriter. I cut out a bunch of the feathered wings from Tim Holtz, and I am using it in opposite colors, opposite patterns, just like this. And this will get all 5. There's 5 layers. So the big typewriter will get all 5. And it's polka dots on one side, and then it's this, stripy polka, striped one or whatever on the other side. And this typewriter is going to get 3. I didn't think that it needed all of them, so it's going to get 3. And I just cut out a bunch and then just played around with it. Let me zoom in. Okay. So now that we're zoomed in on this one, what we're going to do is glue these together. But before we glue them together, I want to emphasize the edges. So I have this Faber-Castell, and it's a white, and it's just a really pretty pin, and it's a brush, and I'm just kind of going around the edges. Now, for the ones that look like this, the lighter color pink and whatever, I'm going to use white. Actually, I think I'm going to use white on all of them. Some of them I think I would use black on. I wanted a nice thick line going around everything. Now, if you didn't have this thick pit pin, pit artist pin, if you didn't have one of these, a gel pin or a thin marker pin would work fine. Anything will work. I'm just trying to separate it out a little bit. So what you can see is this is what it looks like without it, and this is what it looks like with it. So I like the difference. It's completely up to you. There we go. And then when I have all of the layers done, on all of these, I will glue them together. So this one is done, and I adhered all of these together, and I wanted to show you what I'm doing on this one. It's kind of a white, and I did draw around with the white pin, but it's really hard to see. So I have this little, oops, memento. It's a dye-based ink, and I am just going around the edges of the white because I think it'll really help it stand out. Got to kind of get in the little edges. If you have a black pin, that would work to draw around, but I want it a little more crisp than my drawing would allow. So just doing that around the edges. So to adhere these together, I just have this little tape dispenser. It's a disposable one. I'm not sure where I got it, but I've had it, and I don't reach for these very often, so I thought they'd be perfect for this. Just kind of want to use them up. And then I just do that, and I didn't wait for that to dry, and so I've got kind of a smudgy edge. So wait for it to dry, it'll be fine. When you're lining these up, line up the edge. You want to line up this outside edge and then around, because you want all of these to match up on the outside edge. Then I have this wing here, and I think I'm going to outline it with memento as well. And that's just to kind of emphasize those edges of the wing. And I always make sure I have extra paper. So if I ruin something, I got smudgy fingers, don't love it, I can always make a new one if I need to, but most of the time I just roll with it, even if it's not perfect. All right, let me get my book back and let's start putting this page together. All right, so I'm kind of spreading out my little guys all over, kind of placing where I want everyone to go. And the fun part is that you can just do whatever you want. This is your collage. I don't do a lot of piecing like this, not a lot of collage, but I am really loving this. All right, so for now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put some foam to raise up my typewriters. I want them to stand up a little bit, and I got this foam tape, I think from the Dollar Tree. They don't always have it, but when they do, I do grab a roll or two. And it's not very tall foam tape, so I do double it up. All right, so we have our little typewriters are all done. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some quotes. And I got these out of the die pack. Yep, that's where I got them. It's hard to remember where you get all these little pieces when you open it all up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some memento ink and just ink around the edges, and that's just because they're kind of blending in, and I think they just need to stand out. It's the same ink as I was using before. I'm kind of taking it inside a little bit, doing it a little messy because I wanted it to really show up on that side. Oh, that's much better. You can definitely see it much better now. And some double sticky tape to adhere it down. All right, these are all adhered down, and I think it's looking pretty terrific. So now I want to add some sparkle. I have these, oh, everything is stuck together. Hold on, there we go. I have these Recollections adhesive rhinestones, and they're these really pretty swirls. So I thought I would add these. I am going to cut them so that I can use them in more than one place. And I'm just going to kind of tuck them in and around all over. And I'm also going to add other rhinestones and pearls. I have some Say It in crystals, some pearls, some blue pearls, and some pink rhinestones. So I'm just going to kind of do my thing and add a bunch of stuff. And wouldn't you know that my camera cut out while I was adding all of the rhinestones and crystals, and I didn't notice. Sorry about that, but it's pretty easy. Just put them where you want. If they don't have a sticky back on it, just use a little bit of glue or hot glue or something like that. But there we go. We're done. This is it. This is our collage journal page with flying typewriters. Such a fun page. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this art journal page that we created. I don't usually reach for this Bow Bunny collection, but I've reestablished my love for it. I am still going strong with my low buy. I am finding things I haven't used and loving all of it. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and on my blog. I have 2 Instagrams I have Take Time to Create, which is all my crafts and arts and up-close photos. And I also have Linda's Journey 78, and that's just all my other things, personal, family, vacations, and anything else if you'd like to follow along on both of those. I have all of the links down below in the description box. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.